Hello and welcome to Bourbon Forage Fishing. I'm going to be doing another video on the economics of bourbon whiskey markets because I love economics. I've studied economics for my whole life, 20-odd years, and I love bourbon and whiskey. So combining the two things, I can super geek out. I have done a lot of videos on the economics of whiskey and bourbon. I've made some predictions. Quite frankly, most of them have been very accurate, and so I'm very proud of myself. I will link some of my other videos down below in the comments or description box. I recommend you watch those. I will also show you where they are on my channel here later on at the end of this video. Now, Forbes has come out with this article talking about the spirits industry market in 2024. Tequila's rise and whiskey's fall. What's ahead for the drinks industry, right? So they are saying basically 2023 was the first time in nearly 3 decades that we saw a decline, and it looks like we have a soft market environment in 2024, aka there's no growth, folks. We're actually having negative growth, it looks like. So in the article, they are breaking this down for us. Agave spirits, aka tequila and mezcal, are actually up, and up in a very interesting way. The standard and below price tiers decreased by 3%, while premium and above tier prices are up 8%. Isn't that interesting? Result in an overall increase of volume of 4%. Okay, so it looks like there's a very similar situation going on with agave spirits and whiskey spirits. We are getting more focused, more educated, more selective consumers who want better products, and they're holding their money and waiting to purchase better products. They're waiting for distillers to create better products, right? So the whiskey market showed a significant variations by category, but overall whiskey is down by 3%, right? Substantial. That's very significant. The standard and below tier volumes, 2% decline in premium, and above tiers, right? So we're going to stay focused on bourbon here because this is really interesting, and this goes right in line with what I had predicted would happen. That makes me feel pretty darn good. Bourbon was the only subcategory within whiskey category to buck the trend, like the downward trend. It showed so this is important and interesting, a 4% decline in your standard and below tier, you guys, but a 6% increase in premium and above tier purchases, right? So bad whiskey sales down 4%, good whiskey sales, quality whiskey sales up, right? This is exactly what I said would happen in my previous videos, that consumers, having gone through COVID, having spent lots of time collecting whiskeys, buying them, purchasing them, drinking them, learning their palates, are now getting into a much more focused state of consciousness, a much more laser-pointed focus, and know what it is they're looking for in terms of bourbon purchases and high-end whiskey and rye purchases. They want high-end, older stuff, obviously, higher quality, better selection, better distilling, right? So they are holding their money and not buying low-tier stuff anymore. So the market as a whole, if any of you have ever collected whiskey, you know this process. You spend the first 1.5 to, let's say, 3 years trying everything you can. Want to try it all, buying all kinds of $30 whiskey, $20 whiskey, $100 whiskey. You're just trying everything, right? You're like a kid in a candy shop. You got to try it all. You've gone through this process now, and on the micro, just as in the macro, millions of people have gone through this process, and they are now very selective. They've tried all the bourbons. They now know what they want, or they know if they haven't, it's something they haven't tried, they at least have a sense of what it is they are looking for, right? And that usually means higher age statement. It means limited release a lot of time. Those are things that can tip off usually a higher quality product. So the whiskey market, consumers are getting smarter, and they're getting a lot more picky because we're in a recession, or something resembling a recession, right? If you look at same thing with the rye whiskey category, below tier Standard and below tier stuff fell 5%, right? That's significant, even more than a 4%. With a 1% increase for above tier and premium. Same exact trend, right? Same exact trend. The whiskey market is changing. And as I've said many times on this channel, many past episodes, you're going to be seeing a lot of newer distilleries, a lot of distilleries that produce subpar stuff, blenders that produce subpar stuff. Here in the next 4 or 5 years, there's going to be a lot of distilleries going under, folks. There is going to be a very, very hard push to put out very high quality stuff. So if you're a bourbon drinker, this is amazing news. The market is pushing for higher and higher quality. That's exciting, you know, and I think that that's going to be the trend moving forward for at least the next 4 or 5 years. It's not good news if you are a blender or a distiller that just puts out run-of-the-mill bourbon, below average bourbon, average bourbon. I think even C+ bourbon, some of that's going to be on the chopping block. We're going to see a really, really strong push for higher and higher quality bourbons that rise. So this is really exciting news. Really exciting news. Now, you might ask, how did I know this? Well, it all started by witnessing a collapse in the secondary market, my understanding of economics, looking at inflation rates, things of that nature, looking at trends in terms of COVID, people getting more comfortable coming out of their houses and partying. These are some of the videos that I've put. Obviously, I've been predicting a crash collapse, but I have said that it's going to be a very good thing, right? I just reported a month ago, barrel prices have collapsed 30%. Just as 6 months, 7 months prior, secondary markets collapsed 30%. So we are going to be seeing some serious alterations in the bourbon whiskey market, and I'm excited. So I'm really excited. I think this is wonderful. We've had this huge buildup of capital, this huge buildup of stock, of bourbon, of barrels, of distilling. It's this huge buildup, and there's going to be a point now moving forward where these companies just aren't going to be able to sell 4-year-old bourbon aged in a barrel. They're not going to be able to sell this young crap. They're going to have to hold it longer and longer and longer and longer. They're going to have to hold it longer. And that just, again, means we're going to see an increase in quality of bourbon. And it's really exciting news. Really exciting news. So I'm stoked. Thank you for watching Bourbon Forage Fishing. If you like this, please smash the like button and hit the subscribe. I've got more videos on bourbon market. I will link those in the description. Please go check those out on my channel. And take care of yourself. And thank you for watching.